Part 2 of my coverage of the June 7th, 2023 North Idaho College Board of Trustees meeting centers on the budget, an item they should have passed months ago, but you know.
I think it's in the best interest of this to table the fiscal year budget till the next regular meeting.
No, we need to approve it. We need to approve it.
The KCRCC rated and vetted trustees continue to demonstrate not only a misunderstanding of public agency budgeting, but a desire to micromanage and manipulate the college. This latest episode deals with a budget which is typically passed in April or May, well ahead of the July 1st deadline.
We need to approve the budget. Sarah and I have met with all the trustees and multiple times and worked to address all their questions.
Staff has met with the trustees multiple times. Perhaps all those lingering questions about the budget have been satisfactorily answered. That's what you would expect from responsible elected officials. Let me take it up a notch. The burning question is regarding the NIC Foundation and its funding and reimbursement of staff, which is a line item on the college's budget. Here is what Banducci, Wagner, and McKinsey failed to grasp after multiple attempts. No taxpayer dollars go to fund the foundation, a nonprofit. Any foundation money in NIC's budget is reimbursed, but the KCRCC clowns just don't get it. Speaking of not getting it.
Okay, so I have a question. We keep getting a question on how we're funding staff for the NIC Foundation. Can you fill us in on that?
And this inability to grasp the concept extends to the legion of non-thinkers who support these cretins, including the unelectable angry Ron Hartman.
I am now up here for the third meeting in a row to learn if the 2024 budget funds for NIC Foundation staff salary and benefits. I request the trustees do not approve the 2024 budget.
Here's the explanation from NIC's financial guru, Sarah Garcia.
The fiscal audit for the foundation is included in the NIC audit as a component unit. Even though the foundation is a separate legal entity, it provides benefits exclusively to the college and is therefore required to be included in our audit. As part of that, we are required to disclose the dollar value of the transactions that occur between the two entities for transparency purposes. The expenses, however, are all reimbursed in full by the foundation.
There's something about the NIC Foundation that gets under Banducci's skin, and he's spread that poison to all his minions. No, it's not the restraining order against him for assaulting a female employee. It's more complex than that. But these bozos still can't pass the budget. Their desire is to keep working on it infinitely, which is either a stall tactic, a sign of distrust of college staff, hello accreditation committee, or an exposure of their inability to grasp how a public agency does its budgeting. Or it could be all three. Regardless, in comes out of the smart trustees, Terry Zimmerman, who demonstrates accountability and leadership.
Chair McKenzie.
Okay. Trustee Zimmerman.
I move that we approve the budget.
Okay. If I could help you with that wording,
Okay.
and I kind of have a friendly amendment to it too. If you could say, I would personally like to have more discussions specifically on this topic, and we'll get into that hopefully in the future. But if Trustee Zimmerman, if maybe this is an appropriate motion for you to make, a motion to approve the FY24 institutional budget, including the adoption of FY24 tuition and fees and course fees. That's what we're hoping to get in there. So that's the motion.
Yes, that's the motion I'd like to make.
Greggy must feel so superior to all the other trustees. Regardless, the motion is seconded. Don't know why it needs to be so difficult, but that's the way this petulant despot runs the meetings. Babble on, Lord McKenzie.
So I would just say this. I don't mean to be. I want to say this right, but I would like additional financial representation. There were some topics, even from recommendations tonight, that I thought were inadequate for like a whole budget compensation and presentation to the board in couples. And we just think we'll work on this for the next couple board meetings, and appreciate your willingness to sit down with me regularly when that's coordinated. And depending on how conversations go, have this. We'll take it as it comes.
What the hell did he just say? Or more specifically, what's he trying not to say? What follows should have been a simple vote, yay or nay, but not with these clowns. Hey, Greg, you can't make it look so easy, so try a stall tactic.
Right. Is there a way to approve the budget and allow you to begin spending money, but still leave it open?
Sure.
So that we can modify it at board meetings as we get more information?
I would be careful about adjusting it too many times.
Oh, yes.
But I think if we make a major, it's like when you get insurance and they say, for life-changing, you have a birth or death in the family, if there's some life-changing event that we're going to take on as a college, then we can go back and look at that and modify the budget and adapt it, amended.
What Dr. Swain is trying to explain at a third grade level is that, well, shit happens. And when it does, you react to it. That's all really beside the point, which is to pass the budget. But they don't get it. They can't accept that if anything happens later, you deal with it later. But there's still something else going on causing McKinsey to piss all over the existing motion, which he himself asked to be modified.
May I propose a motion if we can maybe retract ours? I think we'll get everyone satisfied. And if you could bear with me and maybe retract your motions, I think we could head towards consensus on this topic with a 5-0 if you trust me. Otherwise, we can take a vote on what you have right now, or we can do friendly amendments if you prefer. If you withdraw your motions, that would just be easiest for everybody.
I don't understand why you would want to do that. I think
Because there's another motion I think that would address.
Well, perhaps the chair wants to put forth an amendment to the motion. And then they could take a vote on the amendment to the motion and then get back to the main motion.
So let's amend the amended motion. Seriously, what a train wreck. Both President Swain and Sarah Garcia know how to work a budget, but it takes Sarah to explain to these buffoons how it works.
If I may, the board has the opportunity to approve a revised budget at their discretion. So my suggestion, if you would allow me to do so, would be to approve the budget as presented this evening. And then if it is determined that we need to revise the budget to include any decisions made by the board, that we would do that at that time.
I think that's very reasonable.
Did you catch the applause? But it's not over. Banducci's baboons still want to codify opening the budget again, essentially approving it and not approving it, even before they know what mystery is coming up that would require them to open the budget. It's almost like they're anticipating doing something in advance that requires the budget to be open. Lord McKinsey?
If trustees would like to set a date, it sounds like August or September. We can say by September, or we can just leave what we have here. I want to give fellow trustees.
The discussion goes round and round. These guys aren't good with the budget, and they want to open it again, probably to spend more taxpayer dollars on who knows what. Finally, one of the adults at the table explains things.
So I think if we make it event-driven rather than time-driven, so when an event occurs that requires a modification to the budget, then we would address that at that time.
But it's still not over. Hand it off to Wagner.
What I want to make sure is that the budget gets approved, one.
Yep.
And two, that the staff gets all the
Raises.
and all those things, and we can start spending money, et cetera. But I want to make sure that we're in a situation where we can easily reopen the budget.
I truly wish they would say what it is that bothers them about the budget. I'm guessing it's the NIC Foundation, but as is typical, they're not being transparent. Seriously, getting these guys to be honest and do their job is like trying to catch a greased pig. But let's try it again, not without Lord McKinsey verbally manhandling Trustee Zimmerman.
Trustee
We're gonna,
Zimmerman, would you restate your motion if you remember? Or actually, I think I have it written here. Motion to approve the FY24 institutional budget, including the adoption of FY24 tuition and fees and course fees, period.
Yes.
I'll second that.
This obsession over the college foundation could be one of the reasons why the chaos is happening. A theory being floated is that the KCRCC, Brent Reagan, and the rest of the hoodlums, all disguised as Republicans, let's be fair, they want to convert North Idaho College into a Christian nationalist university. And I dislike using the word Christian to describe this ideology, as it's clearly not Christ-like. It's authoritarian, an oligarchy of self-anointed busybodies with infinite government power and little regard for anyone's rights but their own. To convert NIC into such a right-wing indoctrination factory, Banducci and his fellow zealots need money. This money would come from the college foundation, which has millions in the bank. If Banducci and the authoritarians get their hands on the cash, accreditation doesn't matter. They can then convert the facility into their fascist utopia brainwashing camp. Remember, this is just a theory, but it does explain a lot about the chaos and madness at the college, their apparent disregard for accreditation, and the mob's obsession over the college foundation. Anyone still think these guys are Republicans? Next rant, I will conclude my coverage of the June 7th meeting with the discussion of selecting the new college attorney, which looks like another attempt to get one of Brent Reagan's cronies a cushy government job. Stay tuned.